was a kid, I remember my dad would have this oud that he got as a gift, and he would play in front of us, and he didn't really know. He would just kind of sit there and do this. That's the extent of my dad's playing ability. Another thing that really drew me into Arab music was the sound of my grandfather's voice. He was a priest out in Berkeley, Michigan, and he had a really great voice, and I would still remember the sounds he would make in my ear today. It's hard for me to reproduce some of those sounds, but a lot of what Arab music is based in is rooted in the tradition of the Orthodox Church and its chanting and its liturgical music. So those sounds stuck with me, and from there I began to develop a fonder interest in the music. I ended up studying the oud with a local musician, Joni Sadoway, here in Detroit, Michigan. And then from there I just kept growing, and it was really the fact that I got to study Arab music that helped me find myself as an Arab American. So Arab music is really a diverse topic, and while we can't cover the entire spectrum of the art form today, we can give you a little bit of a crash course, and if you're interested to find out more, go ahead and take a look at the Google slides to get more information. First, contrary to what many people believe, the Arab world is a diverse landmass made up of some 22 different countries, each with their own set of traditions and musical practices. Almost all of them incorporate the oud in some way. Second, instead of major and minor scales, as we're accustomed to in Western music, Arab music makes use of modes called maqam. A maqam is a set of notes that is developed in a certain way. Instead of using chordal progressions like we do in Western music, Arab music is linear. There are no chords, it's simple melody. Later on in the video, we're going to actually take a look at how we construct a mode by doing a short little improvisation, or what we would call a taqasim. And finally, another thing that makes Arab music so unique to Western music is the use of microtones, or what we would describe as the notes between the white and black keys on a piano. So for example, if you have a major scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's a major scale. Now, in Arab music, we can have a mode or a maqam on those same set of notes, and we simply change the E and the B to a microtone. We lower it, what we would call a quarter step, but it's not really a quarter step. Again, the line is blurred, and it's also based on the tradition of that certain mode. So for example, in Rast, we start on C. There's the E. Then there's the B. And then you have the octave. Let's listen to that again. And if we use solfege to sound it out, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. So I want to take a minute and talk to you about taqasim. I've prepared a little performance video for you that you're going to hear later on, showing how we build an improvisation. And we normally build a taqasim, or improvisation, by using certain traditions that have been established over a period of time. And in this video, you'll notice with this particular maqam, we start on the first note. And then we build. And then finally, when we get towards the end of the performance, you'll hear the improvisation get a little bit more intense in its playing. That's where the musician gets to kind of show off. And then we go home. So there is a definite beginning, middle, and an end, much like a traditional composition that you would hear in Western music. I want to thank you for joining me here today at UMS Performance Playground and for taking the time to learn more about Arab music. If what you heard today interests you and you want to find out more, go ahead and take a look at the Google Slides and worksheets provided to you. Until then, be safe, stay happy, listen to some good music, and I'll see you guys around. Ciao. من عند الحبايب